Have you noticed this little box here? AI assistant. Give me ideas for the next article on productivity, create an outline for a daily note, summarize the attached text, rewrite my notes as a formal email. I think this is interesting, but I want to try something specific here. I want to see if Scrintal can help me with my book, the book I'm currently writing. I've been using AI, but to be very clear here, I'm not writing the book with AI. AI is helping me with rephrasing some sentences that I'm not happy with, finding a specific word. Sometimes the word doesn't come to mind and I describe it to AI and AI give me some suggestions and things like that. It's aiding me, helping me. It's a companion. It's not writing the book. I created a new board here. This is, let's call it our sandbox so we can play with the AI. Uh, First, let me explain how I structure my books. I like to build them in big sessions parts. So I have this first part here, the principles, which are the ideas, uh, the science, and the experience, everything that led me to create the containers of information. So these are the explanations, and this will be a part where I explain the containers. There are some other videos here on the channel where you can already learn about the containers. And here, uh, other chapters where I explain how to use the containers. All this is already a work in progress. There are many chapters, but I wanted to copy just a few of them here so we can test my idea. And of course, I don't want to show you the entire book. Okay, first, I'm not happy with the name of this first part here, principle. So one thing that I want to try is ask Scrintal's AI to give me a better title for this. And also, I already have titles for all this. Let's call them chapters. I have titles for all of them. I didn't add them here because that's another thing I want to test here. Maybe Scrintal's AI has better titles. And finally, for each one of these three sections here, I always create a paragraph or two explaining what the next chapters will be about. And I haven't created for any of them yet because I usually do this after writing. So I'm going to try to ask Scrintal to create these paragraphs for me. I know that this is not going to be perfect because this is not a lot of text, but I want to understand if it will be capable of creating something like I would write. After all, I wrote all this, so I want to see if it's gonna do a good job, and if it does, I can copy more text here and try to create a better introduction for each one of these three main sections here. And you already know me. There will, of course, be a disclaimer in the book telling you which parts were or were not written using AI. Okay, let's try this. Okay, let's open the assistant and drag this right here. And now that the information is here, we can talk about it, ask questions about it to the assistant. I'm so curious about what's gonna happen here. Okay. Okay, just to give you some context, the title for now is Taming the Mass. It's a concise and direct title. But let's take a look at this one here. Embracing the Mass, a journey towards structured creativity. You know what I noticed here? It's the same thing I have noticed elsewhere when I'm using AI. I usually tend to prefer a more concise title, the first part before the column, and all of these ones are pretty cool. Let's try to ask if it can create something more concise. Okay, I like this. And I think this first test is good. I think if I work on this, keep writing, keep exchanging thoughts here with the assistant, I'll end up with good titles, at least for the chapters that I couldn't find a good title yet. Okay, now let's make this a little bit harder for the AI. First, I'll reset this chat here, clicking right here. Then let's select all the text and drag all them into the chat assistant window. And I'm going to ask it to create a summary, a paragraph. This is hard because it's a lot of text. And it probably doesn't make a lot of sense because I don't have all the paragraphs and all the text here. So this is a tough test. Okay, I'm gonna read this off camera and then we'll talk about it. I like what I read here, but it is maybe I didn't ask the right question. It is thinking. AI doesn't think, okay? It is thinking, air quotes here, that I'm asking it to summarize the text for to read it to understand what it's calling the author. It doesn't know I wrote this. So I'll try to rephrase this. I think it did a good job. And again, with a little bit of back and forth, I think I can get to a point where it sounds more like me. And of course, I would never use in my book a text created by AI. I know that some people do, but that's not me. I see it more as guidelines, as a help to write it with my own words. But I liked what it did. And again, the way we ask the questions is important. So now, what I'm going to do is, based on this text, I'll ask it to create a title. I bet it will provide some two-part titles. AIs, they love this, but that's okay. Okay. I like this second part here, the art of time and creativity. It's not exactly what I would use, but it's inspiring. Balancing inspiration and time efficient. This one is good. I like this one. Okay, now that we did all this task, let me show you another interesting thing about Scrintal's AI. Let's say I'm going to use this. Okay, I liked it and I'm going to use it in my book. Look at this. I can drag it out here and create a block of text here. And let's say I'm going to use this title here. I can add it right here and create this title. And of course, just like everything else on Scrintal, I can attach things like this and build these blocks. In other words, organize things, rearrange things using our text and the snippets created by the assistant. And if you would like to assist me, I'd appreciate a thumbs up if this was helpful, of course. And if you want to help even more, please consider supporting my work on Patreon or YouTube. Thanks for watching. See you soon.